What's good, YouTube land? Weird Collector here. It's finally time for another Kingdom review, which means it's time for the theme song again! And yes, it's the one you've all been waiting for. Scratch whatever I said about Black Arachnia. It's finally time for Kingdom Megatron! Okay, I'm kidding. God, remember when I did that with Wheeljack? How much hate I got for that? Oh well. Here's Kingdom Megatron. Oh, his box is empty. Alright, but we still got a nice big picture of Megatron right here. Megatron, they have to add the suffix beast because there's so many different Megatrons. You got a nice picture of the Robot Road right here. Got a big old Predacon symbol right there with other stuff. He is a leader class toy. There's a big picture of that. Looking forward to Tigatron. Hopefully not just being a cheat or repaint. The Rhinox will get eventually. The Dinobot, that should be out at this point, at least in the States, not over here. Freaking Scorponok, everybody. We've gotten pictures of Galvatron, and he does look good. So, and we've got the back. There's a nice little T-Rex picture right here. And it looks like, honestly, it looks like Megatron standing on an alchemy ring. I wonder what he's doing with that, but oh well. Here, let's talk about the big purple dinosaur everyone's come to see. It's good old Barney! It's Murder Barney! In fact, here he is. He's actually here. Alright, let's get some comparisons out of the way. Here he is with Grimlock. I'm going to say this from the start. I'm not going to do the Megatron thing, yes and no, throughout the whole thing. I'm sorry, but I'm going to try and come up with other jokes. I can't just rely on that one joke. No. I can't do it the whole time. I'll do it. I'm going to turn my fan back on as well. Because I'm sweating. Because it's freaking suddenly spring all of a sudden. But he can kinda pull off the upward Jurassic Park style pose. Yes. But he can also pull off the... Or which one is the Jurassic Park pose? I don't know. He can pull off the horizontal T-Rex pose. Yes. Or the banana pose, as I previously referred to it as. There you go. You got your banana dinosaurs. And I honestly completely forgot to do this. But I meant to show them off next to Slash, the only other G1 style Dinobot I have. So let's get the rest of the Kingdom comparisons out of the way. If Slash will actually stand up. There we go. So here he is next to Monkey, Optimus Primal, and they look good. Yes. Here's Rat Trap. Here, Rat Trap will sit on his back. And she's sit on his head. Here's Cheetor. And last up is Blackarachnia. I was intentionally trying to say it wrong. Black Arachnia. I can say it right. The only two Predacons we've got, well, not, okay. The only two classic Predacons, because we also have basically Megatron Skeleton in Paleotrex, or Paleorex. At this point, I've honestly forgotten his name. Uh, yes. Yes. Megatron is a very nice purple dinosaur indeed. Although, let's be honest, this design, while iconic, is never going to be the best toy. Because the amount of just sheer paneling it needs gives it a, well, it does bring across the look of Megatron. It's unfortunately a bit, I'm gonna say it's a bit too broken up, which I completely understand why. It's for the posability. And this thing does pull off some nice posability, yes. Yes, but like one thing I'm actually surprised at is there's very little kibble. Very little robot kibble on this. The only places you can relatively see kibble are his inner robot thighs there, but then again, you have to hold him like this just to see them. So that's a markup for a beast mode being relatively kibble free. Although, as much as I love this thing because of who it is, my biggest complaint is from the absurd amount of paneling. It's this section does not really like the hips do not like to peg in very securely. Like I constantly have to feel like I'm like pegging them back in, which is really unfortunate because like I want to play with the Dino mode. I do play with the Dino mode, but it constantly feels like it's gonna separate like that. But let's take a look at the Dino head sculpt. Very nice. Yes, like the piercing red eyes. Also, I'm gonna bring this guy back up because it's actually been announced that they're re-releasing this in more toon accurate colors. So if you don't have this guy, you can get him again in this shade of purple. And I still think this is a good toy for what it was at the time. Yeah, he's the only original one I have. I'm considering getting the Optimus Primal, possibly the Cheetor or the Rat Trap. At least those are the ones they've announced so far. But anything else? Well, he's got very nice texture to him, yes. He's got tons of molded in detail to represent scaly skin. This is not a Barney you want to hug. Because he is a Barney that can kill you. As I've already mentioned, but I guess I feel the need to mention again. And this is going to be random, but they're both purple dinosaurs, so here's one of the fire cons. I can't remember their name. Little purple raptor. I'm struggling. Cindosaur. It's Cindosaur. There we go. Relatively makes kind of some sense. So, anything else? There's nothing else in the box besides. Oh, we have to get to the golden disc. All right. So let's open this box up because I generally forgot about the golden disc. Alright, so what golden disc card do we get this time? Ah, of course, Optimus Prime. Is this the one of him dying? Yes. It's the exact same, I'll show you. It's the exact same card I've gotten twice over already. So yay! There are, what, 4 possible cards with multiple different outcomes on them, and so far I've gotten the same ones almost every time. Because, yay! Who I appreciate character cards coming back. I like them. But, like, who decided to bring back character cards in the most asinine way possible? Here. It's Optimus Prime dead. There you go. Get rid of that. So we don't have any accessories, shall we say. That card gets a no. But we do have articulation. And a lot of it is in the neck. And in my opinion, it does some real good stuff. So, first off, you have an opening jaw. Way beyond what it needs to. You even have a 5mm port in his mouth if you want to stick an effects part. Or a gun. Even though his head is actually a gun. But, now, Jobby got David K. to voice Megatron in his Masterpiece review. Can I get maybe some stock footage of David K. to provide some voice clips for Megatron right now? Darn. Oh well. But, so yeah, we have the opening mouth, and we have a little bit more. We have a joint right here that goes that far up. Another joint to go all the way up like that. Ow. Ow, my neck. Ow, David K's neck. And we also get that rare thing of the dino head turn, which, given everything working here, does come across very well. Like, you can go that far. You can go that far. That's going a bit too far, but like a tiny bit. I do say it looks very good. You can go that. Unfortunately, he can't go lower than this. And he can't really, my only qualm is, as a slight one, is if his head could go down a bit more so he could do a proper upright T-Rex pose and actually look forward. He has to kind of, like, you can't stand him like this. You have to, So, limited eyesight aside, very nice neck posability. His little tiny arms are on ball joints. Go all the way around, can go out, can pop off. They're made of a softer, squishier plastic. And there's one of the panels that loves to come separated is those panels. Yes, yes, yes. But also no. His hips, while they don't lie, they have some odd posability. So, like, the part from that's under this is the robot hip. Spoiler for transformation. And this thing is on this weird sort of U joint where you have to slide it along for transformation. And, like, it limits, unfortunately. It feels like it limits the posability of the leg. Because you can only go about that far forward. You can keep going, but you're going to meet resistance from the thigh panel. Meanwhile, you can go back about that far, but okay, I don't like those sounds. And like, this is also the section that constantly comes unpegged, so it's like, I feel like I constantly have to be very particular about it, and like, it feels futzy to me, I don't know. He does have a knee bend, which is about that much, about 90 degrees. He does not, I believe, he does have a thigh knee swivel. And his joints can allow him to obviously do that. As we've learned, that's the most important pose something like this can pull off. But talk more about that in robot mode. And he does have a tiny bit of forward and backwards ankle, along with about that much inward a pivot on his foot. Can't go really much more outwards. He does have 5mm ports on the bottoms of his feet, so that's something. Oh, and the tail. You do get a tiny bit of side-to-side sway and a bit of rotation at the base, where it presumably meets his ass. I don't even want to know how, like, yeah, no, I don't want to think about that. And his tip can do a little sassy slag wag, along with a hinge with a swivel, so it can go up and down if you want. But that, again, that's predominantly more for the robot mode. Right. What posability is here for the T-Rex is kind of all that I expect from a T-Rex, really. Like, he's got way more posability in his head than presumably you'd think he would. But being a modern toy, it's actually kind of expected at this point. Like, if this guy somehow had more than just a ratcheted swivel and a mouth opening, that would be impressive. I think at this point, it is still impressive, but it's kind of expected. At least I want to imagine it's expected from a toy this side of the 21st century. So, I guess we have to do transformation. But before that, we'll take a quick break and hear a word from our sponsor. What's that? We have no sponsors. I'm never going to make money off this? Right, all right. Let's take a quick break and we'll come right back for the transformation. All right, we couldn't get a soundbite the first time. Can we at least get a proper Megatron terrorizing?
Megatron, terrorize!
Oh, there we go. That was terrible. Whatever. All right, to start terrorizing, you can start at the saddlebags here, and which way? Yeah, they have to go all the way forward, basically on this slider, and then sit like that. Do the same thing on the other side. Yes. And also, I just want to give a nod to the obvious Transmetal Megatron engineering. Can we please get a new Transmetal Megatron? And then you want to take this panel and you want to flip it up, and you actually this purple little clip right there clips into the bar, which was a pain in the ass to figure out the other way to go, because you have to unclip it, and it took me so long to actually realize that, because I was just trying to go, why won't it move? But yeah, you actually have to clip it in. And where can we go from there? We can go straighten the hips. We can unpeg these panels, fold in these actually spring-loaded panels, fold those flaps up, fold. There's lots of folding in this transformation. It's very panel heavy. So you can take this, rotate it if you want. That little panel up top will fold back, and then one of the big motions is you have to unpeg the torso from the hips right there, and then we have to basically glue his crotch back together. Yes. Yeah. Hey, God. You know, what is a Tyrannosaurus? What does a dinosaur use to pay his bills? Tyrannosaurus checks. Meanwhile, you have to pop open these panels, rotate them up, and close them. Again, took me a long time to figure that out. And I've got more jokes if you want. What killed the dinosaurs? Bad writing! At this point, you can flip up the head and repeg in the back panel. And this is the sort of, in my opinion, the toughest motion is you got to get this. The chest, the rotation is easy, but you got to get it over this black panel, and it has to lock into place. Meanwhile, everything just is concertinaed back there and loves to unpeg itself, but basically just wiggle your way until, oh, there we go. Everything's there. Now we just do a bit of tidying up. So you want to come to this arm and unpeg these panels, one on each side, and open them up and just fold them in. The squishy plastic does kind of get in the way of itself, but as long as you can get the clearance, it goes in, and then it goes in. Little tuck up, little nip and tuck there. Do the same thing on the other side. Fold this panel down, and you want to, I believe, rotate the tail so it's that way forward. And there we have Megatron, in his robot mode. I think that's everything. Yeah, everything's locked in place. Yeah. This is back panel done properly. Yeah, pretty much. Yep, that's everything. So, here we have Beast Wars Megatron in his robot mode. And it is a very, very nice, yes. Yes. It's not perfect. The crotch does not like to stay together. That's a nitpick I have with it. But overall, it is a very good render of Beast Wars Megatron. Now, here's a comparison to the original, and yeah, this thing is very inaccurate. Even proportionally, color-wise. Yeah, there you go. There's a shot of their backs. I'm glad this guy doesn't have a rubber. It's not even rubber. A plastic bat mask. And I really don't think I need to get much into the character of Beast Wars Megatron. He's only one of the best versions of Megatron out there. And he got better and better as the seasons went on. And he had so many different bodies. I think somebody did a video of every single body this Megatron had during Beast Wars and Beast Machines, and it came close to like 20 different bodies. This is his sort of original form, because the original idea was for Megatron to be an alligator and Optimus Primal to be a bat. Man bat. No. Yes. Man bat. Robot Batman man bat thing. But I don't know, I like the idea of going with probably one of the most dominant apex predators, at least they could think of at the time. Let's do some other comparisons. Here he is with Grimlock. Just for the... Come on. There, he's with Leader Class Grimlock, who pretty much almost towers above him. Not by much, but he is a bit taller. Here's Voyager Class Optimus Primal. Yeah, that's a big size difference. But I'm sure it's close to screen accuracy. Here's Cheetor. Here's Rat Trap. Here's Paleo Rex. No longer his skeleton, although they could, do the head nodding head thing. And here's Black Arachnia. So overall, I do like this robot mode very much. Yes, I really like the head sculpt. It definitely captures the character. Looks mean as hell. That combination of purple face and red eyes looks really good. And it also has the only Predacon symbol on his entire body. So it does look good, but unfortunately only from the front, because they didn't paint the back. Come on. That just seems really lazy to me. Like, you couldn't even give him light piping. You're just... What the hell? Unfortunately. I give a no to the lack of paint on the back of his head. Now, obviously, I can probably get a similar tone of, like, gunmetal gray and paint it up to look properly, and I might at some point. It's something I will highly consider, because it's weird how much it annoys me. Like, it's the back of his head. Why do I care? But, like, I don't know. It just bugs me quite a bit. The fact that the look of his awesome helmet just stops halfway through, and it's... I don't know. Thing I've always liked about his design is the fact that he's got teeth he's got a blinged out chain of just teeth right in front of his face, like a reef. I wonder whose teeth those are, because obviously they're not his beast mode teeth, because they're all right there. Blah. The fully molded tongue that's purple. Is that accurate? Maybe. Have I watched Beast Wars in a long time? No. So I don't know. just the fact that he's kind of wearing his alt mode, just tore it off. It's just wearing it in chunks. Like his hand is a tail. At least this guy actually has a proper hand, as opposed to Grandpa down there. Not even Grandpa, because from the late 90s. So basically, this guy's around a little bit younger than me. So, and the fact that they made the hip panels a hell of a lot smaller. Do I wish they shot harpoon missiles? No, I'm fine without it. I prefer it to not get in the way than have a gimmick I'm probably never going to use. So, let's talk robot mode articulation. While this panel is quite a bit of kibble, it thankfully doesn't really get in the way that much. So, head is on a ball joint, and the panel it's on clicks into place, and you can go forward a bit so we can look all the way down. But it's awkward. The ball joint is hard to use because it just kind of springs, like, either the panel for his neck goes, or it just springs back into place. Like, it really doesn't want to sit in one particular spot. It wants to just stay straight. Meanwhile, there's unfortunately also very little upwards movement. There's some. He can kind of look up. Yeah, he can look up with the panel, but like you look him up, as I say, with just the ball joint, it immediately fights its way back down. That's really unfortunate. You do get a tiny, not very much side to side, but you do get the swivel. The shoulders, universal joint, go all the way around. This one actually has the tiniest amount of butterfly motion, which was a surprise to me. But it does the same. You do get a bicep swivel on each side. You do get a elbow bend, which you gotta have to work around all the panels to get just around 90 degrees. Although this one does way better at curling because it's a giant T-Rex hand. You get the same open mouth posability that was available in the beast mode. Like that. Like that. So that hand's very nice. You do get a up and down wrist hinge. How easy is that to see? Right there. It goes about that far. You do, yep. Basically, you get the same posability. The swivel, the hinge, the swivel and the hinge. And this has a point of articulation, I guess. Probably you'd consider it a point for transformation, but it's technically a hinge. You can open it. On the old toy, it was actually supposed to be his hand. So I don't know what I'm supposed to do with it here, but yeah, you can do that with it. He's got a waist joint, which is a swivel. You could, you could unpeg his his torso if you want to start transforming. It's actually locked quite a bit in there, so I wouldn't recommend it, but I guess you could use that as a sort of ab crunch or bend. He has a tamashi port right above the cloaca in his ass. He literally has ass cheeks or ass clips. Hips can go forward, can go back. You don't get a thigh swivel, you do get the knee swivel. You can go out. You got to rotate that down though, because otherwise it'll get in the way. And it is actually like a piece of squishy plastic on top of the solid plastic underneath. The little black guns. You get the knee joint, which almost looks like it should be a double joint, given the angles at it, but no, it's not. It's just a single joint. And then you get the toe bend down, bend forward, side to side that we talked about in his other mode. So, posability is pretty good, yes. Can't really say I'm missing anything. There are a couple of things that are unfortunate, like the neck joint, but I guess a couple of... Okay, one thing that's wrong is the neck joint. But besides that, yeah. Overall, very nice toy indeed. Yes. 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 So, yeah, that's this video done. Tyranna wait. Did I miss anything? I mean, it kind of looks like that middle thing right below the teeth looks like it should open. It looks like it could open, but it probably doesn't. I mean, here, let's actually give a good long stare at just the section of the robot that wasn't in the beast mode, like his chest and his thighs. So stare at that long enough. Yep. I mean, I absolutely recommend the hell out of this guy. Yes, of course I do. If you're doing Kingdom and you're doing the Beast Wars, absolutely you kind of need a modern Megatron as the main antagonist. Do I have an effect? 5mm port. I'm looking for something that can get shoved right in his mouth. There you go. Sort of. Can I actually? Yep. There's show off. You can stick a Prime Master in his mouth, his hand mouth. Is this bordering on vor? Because I kind of feel like it is. Right, let's ignore that. But overall, I give this guy a yes out of yes. I don't know. Hmm. I well, I've already done the jokes, so um, thanks for watching. I hope you have enjoyed, and until next time, keep it weird. What? Oh, now you don't want to say anything? Gonna leave me hanging? That is so like you, Megatron. God damn it. No. Don't point that cannon at me. Don't fight a battle with somebody bigger. Alright, before he I don't know. He's got a jetpack made out of his skin. 'Cause that's not creepy at all. Have nice nightmares. Bye.